record. All right.
Awesome. Hi, Angela. Thanks for taking the time to come chat with us today about emotional support for kids.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm so excited to be here. I've got 5 boys and I need all the emotional support that I can get. So I'm excited to share.
Yeah. So I know a little bit about your story. I know your background, but not everyone here does. So just tell us just a little bit about you and kind of where you came from. I know we'll dig into your journey about kind of started with being a single parent and then combining your family and being a blended family and supporting that as well, and kind of the kids getting together in the struggles of combining with a blended family.
Yeah, absolutely. So 8 years ago, I was actually going through a pretty rough divorce. And on top of that, I had been on anxiety and depression medication for 15 years. So that was kind of like a part of my identity, really. And I had 3 boys at the time going, I think I was just finished nursing school. And I was just working all the time. And so life was stressful. It was crazy. I had no clue what essential oils were, what it meant to, like, I heard the term living green and I thought that was absolutely crazy, right? And so it was just, I was living a totally different lifestyle. I don't even think I took a single supplement, but my emotional health wasn't good. And that was carrying on to my children and totally affecting them. And I could see it did lead into them having depression feelings and them being anxious children and stuff. So then I had a bad back injury. I was in the hospital 9 days and I'm still on a whole bunch of depression and anxiety medication. And I had ended up having to go to see a pain doctor, and she basically told me that I was going to live on pain medicine for the rest of my life. So I should get used to like coming to a pain clinic and all that kind of stuff. And I just remember thinking, this can't be life. I've got to do something. And so one of the cool things about using, some lifestyle changes, coaching, mindset, prayer, essential oils, all that stuff to come off of pain medicine was I actually came off of anxiety and depression medication too. And so I always tell people that you don't understand when you're taking depression medication that it's taking away all feelings. So it's kind of just like you're just living in the motion every single day. And that's not how we were created to be. We were created to have feelings, right? So like to get those feelings back has been like mind blowing. And then I did become a single mom. I raised 3 boys for a few years until I met my amazing husband, Aaron. And then we blended a family. So I had 3 boys, he had 1, and now we have 1 together. So it has been a journey. He's done really great. And so has his son Evan. In like coming in, they love it. They love the oils. All of our kids love the oils. They know that oils help. They don't ask for Tylenol like when they were younger. Like the slightest cough, they'd be like, "Can I have some Tylenol?" And like you feel like that's a normal thing until you realize all the harmful side effects of the medications and of the chemicals that you're using. So it's been like for real the best journey ever, and I feel so good knowing that I'm doing, it's not that I was trying to do a disservice to my kids before I was educated on the dangers of chemicals, or before I was educated on how you can start to feel again and have your life back. It's not like I knew anything, but when I got educated, now I can feel the best ever. Like I'm being the best mom to my children because I am giving them what they deserve. And that is a chemical-free life. That is natural stuff. That is not using chemicals that cause cancer and kidney damage and ADD and ADHD and autism and things like that. So it's been a wild ride. I have a hard time making my story short, but that's the short version.
Yeah. And I know, so you've homeschooled before and now you're homeschooling again. What would you say is like one of the most important pieces on like keeping the boys kind of on task? And I know like sometimes it's hard, like concentration and that sort of thing. So how do you handle that?
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so I did homeschool before. It wasn't a good time for me to do it. And so it didn't go good before because we were moving and having babies and all that kind of stuff. But this time already, just starting into my school year, having a routine is very important. We tried just being like, we're going to have fun. We're going to sit on the couch. We're going to sit at the table. We're going to be wherever. And it totally didn't work. My kids like flop all over the place. They don't pay attention. They go absolutely crazy. So we created, actually in the room that I'm in, which is my office, we created desks, and it's like, once we get into this room, we fill our diffuser with our concentration oils, we put our oils on, and this is the place of schoolroom. So it's been helpful, like letting the kids pick out which essential oils are really good for them for focus and concentration, and having a schedule, like 8 o'clock, we're going to start. And when you're in this classroom, I'm not your mom, I'm your teacher. You will raise your hand, because we have, I mean, it's not just homeschooling 1 or 2 kids. There's 4 boys and a toddler. So they have to, like, you got to give me the respect. And I wear a lot of stress away.
Bring on the stress away.
Yep.
So do they tend to pick out the same like oils and lean towards the same thing? Because I know something I hear a lot is like, well, that doesn't work for me, so it doesn't work. They don't work.
Yeah. That's a very common thing to say. So like, I'm going to give an example. When you have a kid that maybe is a little bit more hyper and can't focus, we'll just go with that. Sometimes the oil of peace and calming, right? This one saved my life here. Sometimes this oil, when you put it on those children, it will 100% hype them up instead of doing what it does for me, which is very calm me down. And other kids, when you have lavender, which generally makes people very calm, it will hype them up. So I have 2 kids that it's trial and error. And that's why I always think it's so nice to have what we call the premium selection kit, because it gives you different varieties of essential oils that you can start with. So if peace and calming is one that's going to hype your son or daughter up, you're not like, oh, these don't work, because then you can try the lavender instead. It's just like, if you want to relate it to medication, I guess, it's just like finding the right medication for your child. Like some people, ibuprofen works. Some people, Tylenol works. Some antibiotics work different for different strains of things you have going on. So you got to play around with them. And the other thing to that is too, sometimes it's not enough, or you haven't tried it long enough. So I always tell people, give it 30 days and see. Now, if your kid totally goes berserk and is bouncing off walls, that is not the right oil. So switch it. Try the lavender instead of the peace and calming, or try the frankincense. Valor makes me just totally wired instead of like focused and grounded. So there isn't, same for you?
Opposite, like Valor is my like, let's ground.
Yeah. Yeah, which it is for most people. But like even my son, I thought he needs the most grounding. So he has some emotional issues. He has some focus issues. He has some, attention and hyper and all that kind of issues going on. And so we do a lot for him, actually. Like when we start the day, and you guys, like for some people, this might seem like a lot, but I do not want to put him on medication. Like I will do anything in my power to try every single thing before putting him on medication, because I have a brother that was on medication, and I see what it did to him, and I see what it does to kids, and it's just not for me. Now that's to say I haven't exhausted every method. So I'm still going with, we are going to try everything. But like for Marky, so in the morning, all the kids fill a diffuser. I don't care what oils they put into a diffuser. I know whatever they pick is going to be good for them. So we have diffusers in every room in our house. So we get the diffusers going. We take our vitamins. We have a nutritious breakfast. And then everybody has a little blend of oils that they've made. This one has been through like the ringer here. It's all dirty and stuff, but it has their name on it. And it's oils that I feel like would work for that child, but it could be just that I let them pick out whatever oil they think really helps them feel grounded or relaxed. And I feel like when a kid has that option to do that, it makes a big difference. So they get oiled up on the back of their neck and the bottom of their feet. We put health oils on just to keep our immune systems good. And then, the other thing is, so for Marky, he's the one that really needs help focusing, is he starts out his day with a nitro. So just like some kids with those focus problems, caffeine actually helps calm them down. That's going to be the same as giving them this is like an all natural version of caffeine. It's full of B vitamins, full of iodine, which is good for your brain, your thyroid, helps regulate all those emotions, right? So I would much rather give him this. And it's what they say on the box is it's good for cognitive focus. And then, as crazy as this sounds, he also gets an unwind. So like an hour into our homeschool, then he'll also get an unwind, which this is like, it says helps promote a calm state and eases occasional irritability. Well, like he needs that 24/7. But so like every hour then, I know it's crazy. We give him an unwind, which most kids, you give them to go to bed. But for Marky, it just keeps him sitting in his chair and able to process things better. He has sensory processing disorder and a whole bunch of stuff. And this has been a game changer too for him. So sorry, I ramble.
Oh, that's awesome. That's a newer product too. So
Mm-hmm.
Nellie's a little young for that and hasn't really had a chance to try that yet, but I'm kind of interested in trying that. Nick has always struggled with sleep a little bit and has gone, he doesn't have trouble falling asleep, it's staying asleep, the kind of that restlessness. And it's gotten tenfold better, but I'll be curious once he starts trying that.
Yeah, magnesium is one that, I mean, a lot of us need anyway. So, and then it has all the like calming oils in it, but you just like, it comes in a pouch, just like our pre and probiotics. So this is another one that I would recommend kids are on, because your gut is like your second brain. And so gut health is really important. So our pre and probiotic, it literally tastes like a pixie stick. It's the best thing ever. You just rip it open and swallow it down, and the kids are like addicted to these. Unwind is more like a watermelon flavor, so some of them aren't crazy about it. Some of them say it's okay, but it's good, great for kids.
Awesome. So are your other kids taking like Unwind? Is that kind of their nighttime routine? And they're picking out their same sort of oils and have a bedtime routine?
So two of them take, so out of the five, two of them take Unwind. And I don't just like throw stuff at kids that don't need it, because for one, cost, right? But not, we want to be budget friendly. And you know, I feel like each kid needs a little bit something different. But for the most part, I can say that the oils that we use are going to be peace and calming or lavender. So whatever works the best for them, and it's usually one or the other. And then the kids that need a little bit more emotional support, or like really with trouble sleeping, we add in Tranquil and Rutavala. And then always oils in the diffuser. So whether it's lavender or peace and calming or sleepy eyes or dream catcher, or if it's wellness ones, like if there's a sniffle going on, every diffuser is going to be wellness no matter what. And it seems to work pretty good for us. So oils on the feet before bedtime, behind the ears, on the wrists, and the back of the neck is usually what we do. And then in the diffuser, and two of the kids will take Unwind.
Yeah, absolutely. Nellie gets night terrors, and that's something that we kind of tried everything for the longest time. What oils work, what oils, and Nick gets them too. And so Dreamcatcher, day and night difference.
Yeah.
I right down her spine, and I've missed it twice, and those are the only 2 nights that she had them, and it's amazing. And we went and tried like 3 or 4 different oils until someone's like, you have to try it, and it was a more expensive oil, so I was like, I don't want to try that one yet. But once it happened, it's like, okay, it's worth it, and you're not using a lot. Put
Right.
it in the roller.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, you can put them in the roller bottle and dilute them so they go longer. That's funny you say that. It must be a hereditary thing, because my husband his son gets night terrors, and all my kids always slept through the night. Well, our son Manoa gets night terrors too, almost every night. And Dreamcatcher works. I'll have to try Dreamcatcher on Manoa, but Dreamcatcher was like Evan will literally sleepwalk every night that he doesn't have Dreamcatcher on. And it's crazy the difference. Manoa, like peace and calming and gentle baby, that combination works good for him. And it took us 9 months to find an oil that was good for him. So once you find it, it's like gold.
Well, and I thought I found it a couple different times because she'd sleep through the night, and I'm like, I got it. And then it was like, oh crap. And then once you do it for like a week, and it's consistent, and then longer, and it's amazing. Just how it works different with everyone. So awesome. Well, before you head out, if you had to give like one piece of advice for someone, everyone's kind of on their own journey. So some people are well into their wellness journey and they may not be using oils or anything, but they've been living kind of that holistic lifestyle for a while. Some are new. What would be your one piece of advice starting on their journey?
I would say to be open to learning new things. Um, do your research and don't be afraid. You know, some people are so it's not going to work for me, but you have to be willing to say, yes, this is going to work. I'm going to try this. I want to be well. You know, really being open and accepting of new things.
Absolutely. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for popping on and talking with me. And I think everyone, it's just great to kind of hear from other people in like true life stories and what everyone goes through. I think testimonies are amazing. It's just everyone, kind of how we've mentioned it before, but everyone, it reacts different. Medication, oils, supplements, regardless what you're trying, your diet, workouts. I mean, you can't work out for 2 days and lose 50 pounds. So it's
Absolutely. And you know, if anybody does want more, like whether it's using Marco Polo in a group message or in a group message on Facebook or whatever, you know, my testimony is anxiety and depression and is pain. And or even for homeschooling or no matter what it is, anybody can always reach out to me and say, you know what, can we chat about this? Because sometimes it just getting that third person in there and that third view, especially with somebody who has dealt with it before, like I understand anxiety. I know what it feels like not to be able to catch your breath and not to be able to breathe and to be at your lowest point. And I know that God didn't make us to live like that. Like we were made to feel good and to just feel, you know. So life can be stressful, especially the world today, but there is so much hope and there's so much that we can do. And I know that you are a very, very good support person when it comes to essential oils and wellness and all that kind of stuff. So people are really, really in good hands being kind of having you as a support person. But I'm always here as well if anybody needs anything to do with anxiety or depression or a whole bunch of boys.
awesome. Thank you so much.
Yes.
And we'll
All right. You're welcome.